I think it worked. I think it actually worked. Let me see if y'all can see me. Can y'all see what I'm typing? Let's see if y'all can find me. Nobody's here yet. Yay! Gabby can see me. That's so weird, Gabby. It says that no one's here. Hey, Tessa. Hey, it worked, y'all. I think this might be the first ever time that I started a live stream and it worked instantaneously. Yes. Hey, everyone. It feels like it's been so long since I've done one of these. And I guess it has been. We had into the school year with my kids. They're 5 and 8, always very busy into the school year. And then the last week of school, we took our kids out of school to go to Disney World. And I had never been to, well, I haven't been to Disney World in 20 years. So it was a very big experience for all of us. And it was great. And then I got home and I got really sick. I think I might have had COVID because I couldn't taste or smell for like 10 days and it was super frustrating. So yeah, I just haven't been as active on here, but I've been thinking about the community and looking forward to when I could get back on here soon. So thank you, Monica. I am feeling better. It's okay. I didn't expect to get into this topic, but I've been learning about somatic therapy. Has anybody heard of somatic therapy? I think that this could be really helpful for the autistic community, actually. I'm not the best person to teach about it right now, but I'll tell you my thoughts on it. No big deal. To me, it's kind of like integrating the sensations in your body. Like, I feel like a lot of times people on the spectrum, we kind of live in our heads and we have a lot of like intellectual thoughts and like cognitive processing that happens, but a lot of times we're not super aware of what our body is saying or needing, which might feed into kind of proprioception or interoception. If you're familiar with either of those terms, interoception is like the ability to know when you're hungry or when you have to go to the bathroom. Proprioception is understanding where you are at in space. So whether that's like knowing how to go through a doorway without hitting the door frame, that's more proprioception. So anyway, somatic therapy, you kind of spend some time integrating your body's cues and just kind of taking time to listen to those because I didn't plan to get into all this because I'm learning that your body like stores emotions. And so if you have stressful emotions like in your body that you just kind of dissociate from and cut yourself off from, they like stay in your body until you can kind of breathe through them. I don't know, that might be too much for some of y'all. But anyways, so I've been trying to take time. The reason I shared that, I've been trying to take time to listen to my body and rest because I feel like our body has just as much intelligence and information as our mind does. But I don't think that I know that I don't spend as much time trying to listen to my body and understand its cues. So if that sounds helpful to you, I'm not like being paid to promote any of this stuff, but somatic therapy, there's someone on Instagram that I just absolutely love. He's super cool and so chill. Let's see if I can find him real quick. He posts all the time. But has anybody else heard of this? I don't want to be like, no, I can't find him right now. I think it's like, oh, I've saved some of his stuff. I'm sorry. It's always so weird on live streams. Like I'm just getting used to them. Okay, so the person that I really respect is holistic.life.navigation on Instagram. So anyways, if that's interesting to you. Cool. I'm reading some of the comments over here. Sunflower yoga. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Can I bring my computer over here? Come with me. Yoga. Actually, I just did it right before the video today. There's my yoga mat. And then in the back, you can see all my other yoga stuff. I have all my mats. I have my meditation cushion and I have my yoga straps and my yoga blocks. So this is my yoga room, and yoga, you're right, is honestly really wonderful for integrating like processing trauma, processing upsetting emotions, just getting in better connection with your mind and body, connecting the two, making peace with it. Yeah. Danny, have I ever read The Body Keeps the Score? Yes, I have. The Body Keeps the Score is by Dr. Vanderkolk, and it is a fantastic book, but it's kind of heady. Like I would say like more educationally based. Like it's not a book that you're going to sit down and just like read. It's very much like case studies and anyways, it's just a lot of scientific stuff, but it's a really fascinating account of how our body stores emotions and processes trauma. Super, super interesting. And I know a lot of people in the community have expressed the desire to learn more about the connection between CPTSD, which is complex post traumatic stress disorder, and autism. They're not the same thing. You can have one and not the other, or you can have both of them. But I think many people in our community have dealt with a lot of trauma. My opinion, and again, I'm not a medical provider, I'm an autistic mom who likes researching this stuff. I think that our nervous systems are just on high alert all the time as someone on the spectrum, and we're constantly processing sensory stimuli and input. And I think that that takes a toll on our bodies. And, we don't always have as much social awareness as other people, and maybe a little bit of naivete. I never know how to say that word, which can get us into situations that can be unsafe or dangerous sometimes when it comes to protecting ourselves and maintaining personal boundaries and stuff like that. So I think definitely we can be more susceptible to traumatic experiences because we might not necessarily have the same toolbox to navigate those experiences, if that makes sense. So Bright Beacon, you said you've got The Body Keeps the Score on your reading list. Just be warned, it talks about trauma. It's a heavy read, but it's fascinating. A book that Vanderkolk recommends in that book is Yoga and the Quest for the True Self, which is a much easier read. Definitely a different vibe, but it's talking about how yoga can be helpful in integrating emotional experiences. So that would be another more accessible, less upsetting read. The Body Keeps the Score. This is the last thing I'll say about it. I would say the beginning of it is particularly hard to get through because it kind of talks about PTSD and soldiers. And yeah, people who've been in wars. That part's really hard to read. But in the middle and towards the end, it gets more into like psychotherapy and EMDR, different practices and techniques that can be used to integrate emotional experiences and trauma. So, okay. I'm going to wrap that up with a bow right there. It's easy for me to go off into those tangents because that's what I'm learning about right now. And I think it's fascinating. Do you have any specific, wait, where did that go? Oh my gosh, the comments are coming in so fast. Yes, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Niam H.S., Niam S. Yes, Yoga with Adrienne, that's my go-to. I love her. So she has a channel and she's from Texas, Austin, Texas. Yoga with Adrienne is a YouTube channel. She's fantastic. She might be the most zen, calm person I have ever witnessed. So if you're looking for an easy introduction into yoga practice, she's the best. And there's nothing to be scared about venturing into the world of yoga because yoga is all about listening to your own body. So another tangent. If the teacher is guiding you through some pose that you just don't want to do or it doesn't feel good, you can lay down with your face on the floor and just breathe. Like that's totally fine. You can stay in child's pose. So I just love yoga because everything is okay. Like you just do whatever your body wants to do, and if you do that and breathe, then yes, you're doing yoga. So okay, so I'm trying to keep up with some comments over here. Honestly, there's so many. It's amazing. Sunflower, ever tried yoga in a dark room with thunderstorm sounds? No, but that sounds amazing. Okay, Bright Beacon says, I have a hard time separating other people's experiences from my own experiences. It can be emotionally overwhelming. Me too, period. And that is a lot of what I work through in therapy. Yes, there is another Instagram account that is really helpful for that. Haley Page McGee, HaileyPagemagee. She's just like when I read her posts, it's like going to church. It's just like, oh my gosh, So good. So if you need help kind of learning where you end and where another person begins, I would recommend her work. And also marina.yt. I can try to put some of these in the description. Yeah, marina.y.t. They're very good for that type of thing. But I think that's pretty common in people on the spectrum, is very empathic traits where we kind of we're so used to having to read the room to kind of understand how to blend in and be a part of social experiences, that a lot of times we will maybe feel what somebody else is feeling or think what somebody else is thinking before we understand what we're thinking or feeling. And I'm learning that there are ways to navigate that, where you can, yes, you can think about, you can be aware of what someone else is thinking and feeling, but the most important thing, like, it's very important to learn how to think and feel what you think and feel first, which is not something I feel like I can confidently say that I'm able to do at this moment in my life, but I'm definitely making progress. So thank you for bringing that point up. Okay. Yeah, people talking about empathy. Artsy Batbrook, you said you recently started doing yoga on your own. You're not sure if it's helping, but you found out that you're probably autistic and struggling with figuring out what helps. Yeah, that's, part of the journey. So you'll, just be kind of curious. This is my advice. Just be kind of curious and ask questions about the things that you're working through, and the resources that you're using. If it's yoga, different practices and stuff, just be curious about the effect it has on you, and you'll kind of find your own rhythm. One of the things that I feel like has made the biggest difference for me is connecting with the autistic community, because there's been so many times that people will put something into their own words, and I read it and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like, I would never have had the words to say that, but that's my experience too. So yeah, just feel free to keep checking back in here, and on my community tab, a lot of times people are kind of having a discussion in the comments, and then also on my Instagram at Taylor_Heaton_ there I have a lot more discussion going on, and I have more stuff that I post, like in stories and all that. And then there's an autistic community on Discord. I don't know if you're familiar with Discord, called AS Direct, and I have another video about how to join that. So I have also heard from others that just kind of hanging around the autistic community is very helpful, especially in the beginning stages, because you start to kind of see yourself in other people, and it becomes a little bit easier to talk about and find resources and connections. Yeah. Yeah. So real quick, we can just touch on some of the points in the childhood autistic traits video. I love that there were a lot of people who were able to relate to them. Suyan, I love that you mentioned that just for some reason you're having a lot of trouble following this today. Yeah, sometimes we're just in a different spot, and sometimes for whatever reason our body might be, I don't know, maybe it's just like, I don't want to go there today. So don't force it, and just, if you want to stay here, I don't need to tell you, but just like allow yourself to feel and think whatever you need to feel and think. And if you don't want to follow particular conversations, just like, yeah, maybe your body's just telling you it's not where it's at for you today. It's okay. So the first thing I shared in the childhood autistic traits was gifted, sensitive, or shy. How many of you were called gifted, sensitive, or shy when you were young or today? That was something I heard all the time. And it was really confusing for me because I don't feel shy. Like I just don't feel shy. And I think I actually didn't realize this until like last year. I'm feeling really stimmy right now. I didn't realize this until last year. I just like allowed myself to question. I'll play with my little like tripod. I allowed myself to question like if I was shy or not. I was like, I don't think I am shy. I don't think I am. So that was really cool to just kind of come to grips with that. Okay, the group projects, that was the second thing I shared, anxiety over group projects. Y'all lit up on that one. Y'all are like, no. Group projects are so stressful. Hey, Shadow Fox, thank you for commenting. Yeah, all these people, shy, mature for your age. Yes, that was another one I heard a lot too. Yeah, but group projects, I think Claire had said on the other video that she would just say, okay, I'm going to do this, so we'll get an A and don't worry about it. And I can totally relate to that, because the other people in my group, they just, even in college, like I remember at TCU, I had a group project and I was just astounded at like the lack of direction that other people had. I was astounded. I was like, everybody was just sitting around literally small talking at college at TCU for like a grade on your college transcript. Like people were just like, yeah, y'all can come over to my house. Like they would just spend time talking about where we were going to meet and like, yeah, we'll get it done, and then they didn't, and then they didn't care. It was just, I can't. I'm getting stressed thinking about it. Okay, next. The third thing I shared was enjoying alone time in my room. That was always a very calming place for me when I was younger. And I can still just picture, like, I have a very calm feeling when I think about just laying on my belly on the floor in my room. And I had this big window to the right with a big tree outside my window. And I would just sit and I would just look out. And I realized I caught myself doing this last night. And actually, since I'm becoming more self aware, my brain's all over the place. There's something else I want to add. I've noticed that at night when I get in bed, I will just lay down in bed and I'll just lay there like this. And I'll just sit there motionless, just staring straight ahead. And it's like the first time that I actually start processing like the events of the day. Maybe I just need to create more time during the day to process. But when I sit in bed, like I can just sit there and stare off into space forever. And it just feels good. Like I just feel like maybe my body's catching up to all the work that my brain's been doing all day. So I don't know. Yeah. I love staring at the ceiling fan in my room, the popcorn ceiling, looking for patterns. Yeah. Tui says they used to have one of those bed tents and their parents would let them have it up on their bed for months at a time. That's awesome. Yeah, tents were always amazing. I also do this in planes, which my husband has commented on. Like I can just sit in a plane and stare straight ahead for like the duration of the flight, because I think there's so much like sensory overwhelm with flying and travel that I'll just sit there and I'm good. Like my brain's just like, we're just gonna sit here and we're just gonna look straight forward, and that's all we're gonna do right now. Okay, what are we congratulating? It's hard for me to keep up all the comments, but that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh man, Danny, bullying. Bullying is a big topic. I don't think I've covered that on my channel yet. But I do know that bullying tends to have a higher prevalency for people on the spectrum. So maybe that's a topic that we could cover at some point, because it might be important to help some of us process. Yeah, because our social awareness is so different than other people's. It can definitely lead to that. Okay, I'm going to try to stay on topic. Also, the fourth trait I shared was frequent sickness or pain. And a lot of y'all chimed in on that. So again, I'm not a doctor. This is my own personal opinion, but I feel like from what I've learned about people on the spectrum, like our nervous system is just on high alert and we're processing stuff all the time, and it takes a lot of energy. It uses a lot of our resources. And so I don't know, it seems like we can get sick more easily, and that we do get sick more easily and kind of spend more time just like not feeling good. Which I think is an invitation to just listen to our body again, kind of going back to somatic therapy and just kind of integrating the impulses that our body's feeding us, and just realizing we might need more downtime and more rest than other people, and that's okay. I know that integrating that into our lives can be kind of difficult, because we might have to structure our lives. We might have to structure our days differently than other people, and that can be really tricky. Because first of all, who is even modeling that? It's hard to find people who are modeling the autistic life. So anyways, that's something that I think about. Yeah, Stacy says all the anxiousness takes a toll on our immune our immune systems. I think the anxiety and stress for sure. Mm-hmm. Female illnesses, yeah. You're welcome, Sunflower. I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, the fifth thing I shared was confusion about birthday parties / hiding at parties. Just kind of, we talked, I talked through the idea of like, I had birthday parties because that's what we were supposed to do. And I didn't really think much about it until I got older. And I'm like, yeah, I would much rather just have like, I just much rather like go out to eat with my husband and go see a movie and have someone watch the kids. Like, that sounds really great. So yeah, I've changed over time, but still looking back on it as a kid, my favorite birthday party, and I mentioned this in the video, was when I was at a roller rink and I could just skate the entire time. Like, my friends were there, but I just remember like I could be there and experience stuff with them, but I didn't, like, there was no talking, which was really great because the music was loud. I love loud music. I love like immersive environments. So that was really cool. Yeah, people are talking about hiding at parties. The Grackle Peck says they would hide in the bathroom or with a pet. Yes, hiding with pets is the best. Like, if there's a pet somewhere, I'll just like sneak off and I'll just like calmly stay with the pet because then I'm like doing something, It's like I'm here, I'm participating, but I'm just gonna hang out with your pet because they're way cooler. Totally relate to that. Yeah. I remember going to a party in high school. So I was in drill team, which is like a dance team, like a kick line. And I remember there was a drill team party that I got invited to, and the drill team girls were like, they were like popular girls. They all had, they all had boyfriends. They all just like seemed so mature at the time, like they knew how to be social. And I just remember making lap after lap at that house party, just like, when do I know what to do? Like, everybody else is just like partying, I guess. Like, what the hell is that? Like, like, what? I just remember circling and being like, what do I do? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand like what I'm missing out on by not liking this. Okay. Still a lot of talk about bullying going on over there. Guys, I'm sorry. Or I'm trying not to say guys as much because I know that's a masculine term, and so y'all, I think, works pretty well. Y'all, I'm sorry, a lot of people have been dealing with bullying, especially when they're younger. I'll try to make a note of that, and we can talk about that a little bit more in depth in the future. Okay, the sixth thing I shared was wanting to eat the same thing every day. I don't think I need to spend too much time on that. I still am super picky about what I eat, but I have gotten better as an adult, as I feel like some of you had mentioned also. Like, I've gotten better and I've learned kind of workarounds. Like, I can drink a smoothie in the morning and I use like this Vega protein powder. Where's that idea? A Vega protein powder, and I put some spinach in the blender with the protein powder and then put peanut butter in, and it kind of like masks the taste. So I have ways to get like vitamins and vegetables and that kind of stuff in, but it's definitely difficult. I don't like those textures, and I would just prefer to eat carbs all the time because, one thing that somebody brought up in the premiere was not wanting to, y'all might be able to hear my kids in the background, not wanting to, like, being nervous about eating stuff before school because you didn't want to get sick at school. And I think for me, that's why I feel safer with carbs because it's like they never really upset my stomach. If I eat too much sugar, yeah, but like crackers or toast or something really bland and a little salty, like, I just feel like having that on my stomach is way safer than anything else because sometimes I like certain textures just make me feel sick, like if I eat them. So I thought that was a really great point that y'all brought up in the premiere of just kind of the safety of eating something normal, um, and knowing that like you wouldn't get sick. I totally relate to that. Oh, Danny eats frozen bread? I've never heard of that. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It's so cool. I just love relating to y'all. It's so cool. Okay, the seventh thing I shared was difficulty navigating relationships and not wanting other people in my space. So yeah, I mentioned in the other video that I had to go through something called peer mediation, and I remember being really embarrassed about it. Um, I can't remember what grade I was in. It might have been like first or second grade. And this girl, her name's Heather. She would always come up in my business, like out at recess, and I just wanted to be alone. And she would come and like she thought I was cool and she really wanted to be my friend. And she's really sad that like I didn't want to hang out with her and I didn't want to be mean. But like looking back on my little first grader self, I just needed some space to freaking process everything. And so I would like I don't remember. I guess I told her like, please go somewhere else. This is my space. Anyways, I think some feelings are coming up that I'm trying to process through YouTube. But anyway, so navigating those peer relationships was challenging, and not just in first grade, but throughout school. Throughout school, I remember people making jokes at my expense in middle school about the way I dressed, and I remember feeling like I did not understand. I didn't understand what I was supposed to dress like. I wore bell bottoms one time that apparently were too high, and so I got made fun of. And I, yeah. So there's some more stuff there too, but just feeling like I didn't fit in, and that other people were like looking at me like I was very different. um, oh, okay. Going back to the other topic, I see a lot of frozen grapes. Y'all, a lot of people are eating frozen foods. This is really interesting. This might be really helpful for my kids. Okay, so y'all are saying like whenever sensory issues are heightened, that frozen food is better for y'all? Okay. You know what? Yeah, because and my son especially, he loves frozen grapes. Oh, Junebug, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Um, I feel weird saying this, but I'm just gonna say it. But if you want, there's like a little button on the bottom. It says like show your support for mom on the spectrum. So if you want your comment to just like pop up where I'll see it instantaneously, that can happen if you click on that button. So if you are so led to do anything there, I would appreciate that. Okay, and then number 8, creating systems of organization. Y'all also got really excited about this one. Okay, so tell me the kinds of things that you organized. I would love to hear it. I had a rock collection. Which shed theory, you said I wore all this thrifted old stuff. I would customize, including my dead old lady neighbor's clothes. So super mainstream and accepted. Claire, you're funny. You make me laugh. If y'all haven't checked out Woodshed Theory's YouTube page, she's another autistic YouTuber, and I dig her. Okay, so systems of organization, that's very therapeutic for me. I love organizing things. Yeah, love organizing things in rainbow order. Suanne says her books were always in a very particular order on the shelf. Yeah. Yeah, marshmallow possum, that's okay. I mean, some of these traits you might not have, and we all have different experiences. So some of you might not feel organized, and that's totally okay too. You can still be autistic and not be organized, or you cannot be autistic and be here too. That's fine. Everyone's welcome. Okay, number 9, preferring visual learning to auditory learning, for sure. Like, I saw a meme. I think I gotta find the Instagram account so I can credit them. But there's a meme of like someone just like it's not gonna be as funny in words because it's auditory. I need to show you visually. It's just a picture of someone like with tears streaming down their face, and it's like when someone tries to teach me the rules of a new card game. So basically, the idea is just like trying to learn something new, like a new concept, without like having something in front of you to go off of. It's just, oh, it's so unnerving. It's so unnerving. So definitely prefer visual learning to auditory learning. Then the last one that I shared was preferring to interact with teachers over peers. So I think a lot of times for people on the spectrum, interacting with people our own age can tend to be a little bit more intimidating. There's something about like connecting with someone who has a little bit higher grid for like knowledge and information, and maybe less tolerance for small talk. Like I feel like talking to someone more mature, you have that like a higher depth of communication, and you don't have to deal with the small talk as much. So, yeah, these are all such great comments. Being seen as mature for your age. Yeah, and something somebody else mentioned in the premiere was being called an old soul. It feels weird to say. I'm going to type it out. Old soul. I don't like the way that sounds. Old soul, old soul. Oh, it needs more. Anyways, I definitely relate to being an OS. Yeah, so I think that can be kind of a common denominator among some of us too. Yeah. Okay. So 2 things before we wrap up here. Number 1, I just forgot the name of it. Y'all heard that like that Google robot, one of the Google workers claimed that it is like sentient. Super interesting. There's a transcript between this Google employee who's on administrative leave for doing this and the robot. And it's super insightful. I don't really have an opinion either way because I haven't studied sentience or robots, but it's super interesting, and it seems like a topic that might interest y'all. So you can just Google. I think it's called like Lambda, but just Google sentient robot. It's super fascinating. I don't know. Just wanted to share. And then the second thing, I just wanted to Whitney, I love iRobot. Yeah. Okay. So the second thing I wanted to do before we wrapped up, I just wanted to give y'all yes, I mean the AI, not robot AI, whatever. The AI, not a robot. I don't know. See, I shouldn't have told you about this because I don't have the information. Don't quote me on anything. I don't know about this topic. But I did read the transcript. My memory recall is not working right now. Okay. I wanted to give anybody in the comments just the opportunity to share if you're an autistic business owner, if you're an autistic YouTuber, just put your services in the comments real quick. Just summarize it, like, Claire, which a theory YouTuber. So I just feel like this is a really great opportunity to find out about other autistic services in the area. I know is Gemma still in here? If you run an online company or anything that other people could benefit from, please share that information in the side for us. I'm working on compiling, with the help of another community member, Brandy, an autistic resource guide. And I want it's going to include like different online evaluations where you can get those done. It's going to include different autistic clothing lines, different autistic businesses, autistic YouTubers, autistic services, products that you can purchase online, autistic food, like food companies. So if you have anything that you want to add to the list, like it's not going to cost anyone anything to be on the list or to download the list. I just want to make more services available to the community. I just think that could be really helpful to us. So yeah, just keep posting stuff over there. And if you think of something later that you want to share for the guide, you can email me at momonthespectrumtx@gmail.com, or you can reach out to me. I don't know. It's hard for me to ask for things, but if y'all are on TikTok, could you look me up? Because I really have fun on TikTok, and I think it's a helpful platform for like getting information out. So my username on TikTok is this Taylor_Keaton_, like turn the heat on. That's how you can remember that. So I'm on TikTok and Instagram under that name. And I have a lot of fun there, and I make silly dance videos and cat videos and autism videos too. Like I share stuff about autistic life there too. Okay, and then I'm going to ask for one more thing. If you could give this video a thumbs up, that helps it out so much for the algorithm, and it helps other people find this content. So if you could just hit the thumbs up before you leave, that would be so awesome, and I really appreciate it. So this has been so fun. If there's anything we didn't get to that you feel like you need to say, email me, reach out on social media, hit up the community tab on my YouTube page. Yeah, I'm going to leave this open for just a second longer because I think some people are trying to get connected to each other, which I love. So I'm just going to sit here for a second so that other people can get connected so that I don't have to like end it yet. I'm so glad you needed this today. Yeah, if you need a reminder, you're a beautiful, wonderful person and your brain is magnificent. And yeah, it might be different than everyone around you, but there's nothing wrong with you. You're a beautiful person. You deserve love and respect and kindness and compassion. And I think you're awesome. I'm so glad you're here. You're so welcome. Thank you all for being so supportive and wonderful, beautiful people. Okay, I think people have maybe gotten to connect now. If you're still waiting to hear about how to connect to other people, go to the community tab on my YouTube page. So like YouTube, Mom on the Spectrum, go to the homepage, then you'll see a community tab. Go there, making plans for y'all, and then in the comments, share your information. Okay, because I feel bad ending this, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Oh, I guess like hello in the comments of this video. Okay, go to the comments of this video. That would be the easiest thing, and share your contact information. Okay. Okay. I love this community. Thank y'all for the support, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.